Hello students, welcome to the Pole Science of Class 12 Arts, and today we will discuss about another important questions and answers based on chapter Democratic Upsurge in Indian Politics. So let us proceed then. So increasing participation of the people in the democratic politics of the country is broadly characterized as democratic upsurge. Based on this principle, social scientists have characterized three democratic upsurges in post-independence history of India. So related to this democratic upsurge, we can say that it has increased the participation of the people in the democratic politics of the country. Suppose there were around 10 lakhs of people participating earlier, then the number of people increased from 10 to suppose 25 lakhs, and now it has increased to suppose 50 lakhs. So based on this principle only of the participation of people in the political process of a country, so social scientists have characterized three democratic upsurges in India. So these three democratic upsurges can be termed as first, second and third upsurge. So let us understand about the first democratic upsurge then. The first democratic upsurge could be attributed from the 1950s till 1970s, which was based on the participation of Indian adult voters to the democratic politics both at the center and in states. So this first democratic upsurge can be counted from when? From the 1950s till 1970s. That means you can assume from 1950 to 1979, which was based on the participation of Indian adult voters to the democratic politics both at the center and in states. So here we can say that this democratic upsurge is the time from 1950s to 70s when people actually participated and Indian adult voters participated in the democratic process of the country, both in the central and in the states. Falsifying the Western myth that the success of democracy requires modernization, urbanization, education and access to media, the successful holding of elections to both Lok Sabha and legislative assemblies all across states on the principle of parliamentary democracy were the testimony of India's first democratic upsurge. That means why this upsurge between 1950s to 1970s is being termed as the successful carrying on of parliamentary elections, because of the fact that before this period it was assumed that the successful process of political or the successful political process required for the success of democracy will require all these things, namely modernization, urbanization, education and the media. But ignoring all these four spheres which were very much necessary, which were thought actually to be very much necessary for the success of democracy, namely modernization, urbanization, education and the media access, were ignored. And at that time when India was lacking all these things, it was successful in holding the principle of parliamentary democracy at that very particular moment or the period from 1950 to 1970s. This was about the first democratic upsurge. Now during the 1980s, the increasing political participation of the lower classes of society such as SCs, STs and OBCs have been interpreted as second democratic upsurge by Yogendra Yadav. Then comes the second democratic upsurge, which was during the 1980s. And at this particular moment, many lower classes people hailing from the SCs, STs and OBCs participated in the political process, and this was only known as the second democratic upsurge by Yogendra Yadav. The participation has made Indian politics more accommodative and accessible for these classes. Although this upsurge has not made any major change in the standard of living of these people, especially Dalits, the participation of these classes into the organizational and political platforms gave them the opportunity to strengthen their self-respect and ensure empowerment in the democratic politics of the country. So, regarding the second upsurge, during the 1980s, many lower classes people hailing from SCs, STs and OBCs participated, but this democratic upsurge actually did not change more of the accommodative and accessible of this class. Whatever the participation they had done, this could not change the standard of living of these people. But the participation of this class into organizational and political platforms, whatever the participation they made, this gave them the opportunity to strengthen their self-respect and ensure empowerment. But what did they achieve? They achieved the self-empowerment also, and they achieved the self-respect also. Clear? Now comes the third democratic upsurge, which was the era of liberalization, privatization and globalization. These three things happened after 1980s. So the liberalization process, the privatization and globalization from early 1990s is attributed to the emergence of a competitive market society, encompassing all important sectors of economy, society and polity, thus paving way for the third democratic upsurge. So from the period of 1990s till date, this era is known as the third democratic upsurge because of the fact that it was also the era of liberalization, privatization and globalization. Clear? The third democratic upsurge represents a competitive electoral market which is based not on the principle of survival of the best, but rather the survival of the ablest. That means the third democratic upsurge, when it took place, it was not about earlier, it was about the survival of the best or the fittest. But now during the era of liberalization, privatization and globalization, the era has become from survival of the best to the survival of the ablest. Those who are able can achieve anything. It underlines three shifts in India's electoral market: from state to market, from governance to governance, and from state as controller to state as facilitator. So it also changed the whole overview. Earlier, before this third upsurge, during the 1980s and before that, earlier the state was state, but it changed from state to market. Earlier it was government, now it has changed to governance. And earlier state was thought as the controller, but now the state is termed as facilitator. Moreover, the third democratic upsurge seeks to promote the participation of the youth, who constitute a significant chunk of Indian society and have emerged as the real game changer in view of their increasing electoral preference for both development and governance in India's contemporary democratic politics. So now we have seen that when the first democratic upsurge started, it was more of the proportion of Indian adult voters. But slowly and steadily, when we understood about second and third, basically, so during the third we have seen that the youth nowadays plays an important role in the politics of India, because they are the major number of voters when it comes to youth. So they can be termed as the real game changers in increasing electoral preference, and they are the game changers. They are rightly called the game changers for both development and governance process. So with this I will wind up today's topic related to the questions that we have discussed, which is about democratic upsurge in India. In this topic of questions and answers, we have discussed about all the three democratic upsurges. The first started from 1950s till 1970s, the second was during 1980s, and the third being 1990s till date. So please make a note down of all these questions and answers in your copy. Till then, thank you.